Hello friends, welcome to my channel, and in this video we'll be doing the part 3 of MCO01. We'll start with unit 10, and one thing more for your kind information, for the time being I have stopped on Telegram and WhatsApp. So if you want to buy my study materials, you can contact me through my email ID, which will be provided in the description box. Because there are इतने सारे messages आ जाते हैं कि it is very difficult to handle and concentrate on making the videos. So please do not message me on Telegram or WhatsApp, right? Okay friends, so let's see a few important questions and answers from unit 10. You should know about motivation. What is motivation? And basically motivation means the desire, or the want, or something that induces an individual to perform or achieve or fulfill his desire and goal. And basically it is it's a psychological process. In other words, we can say that it is the inspiration to perform better. We know about that. We can write a lot of things about this. We will cover only the important questions because time is too short and it will be very difficult to explain all the points and words, right? So straight away let's go to this one, Maslow's need of hierarchy. This theory is important for this exam, so do revise this properly. And according to this theory, every human being has these 5 basic needs, that is basic psychological needs. Then he has safety needs, belonging needs, esteem needs, and self-actualization needs. And one more request, that do watch my previous videos on MCO01. They will help you a lot. You can draw this flow chart for Maslow's hierarchy. Then Hertzberg's two-factor theory, this is also going to be important for these exams. And according to this theory, there are two main factors. The first one is satisfiers. They are called motivators and dissatisfiers, So according to this Hertzberg's theory, there are certain factors in the workplace that cause job satisfaction, whereas some other causes dissatisfaction. So this theory has been divided into two parts. So these examples you can write here. And this one is also very important. Distinguish between Maslow's and Hertzberg's theory of motivation. And you can also get a question on the similarity, right? Okay. Okay, let's move on to the next important one. This is McClelland theory of needs. And according to McClelland, the needs can be of 3 types. First, for achievement, that means we want to achieve something, we want to go to height. बहुत achievement करना है. So that is one of the need. Then there is a need for power, to achieve power, to obtain power. And the third need is affiliation, that is prestige, status. So due to this, we are motivated to work hard. Okay. Now let's move on to the next question. Managerial approaches, or how an organization motivates an employees. Now this is the most important one. Money. Through money or financial help, employees can be easily motivated by redesigning the job, by involving the employees in the management of the organization, by increasing or by enhancing the quality of work life, the work environment. Then by appraising the performance, that means employees should be rewarded from time to time, and through MBO, right? So these are few important techniques. You can also draw this flow chart. Okay. Unit 11. Unit 11 is on job design and job satisfaction. And you should know about what is job design. It is a written, complete written instruction describing in detail the task to be achieved. And it specifies what to be done, how to be done, and in what time the job has to be done. And it is very, very important, job designing. It clarifies the task, what you have to do, what the employees has to do. तो वो वहाँ पे उसकी टास्क को क्लैरिफाई करता है. तो टास्क अगर क्लियरली अगर डिफाइंड है, तो देयर विल नॉट बी एनी ओवरलैपिंग ऑफ वर्क. Employees can be placed at the right time, at the right post, right employees at the right post. And it also motivates the employees to work hard, to perform better. and a supervisor can have better control of the employees, and all these results in increase in the productivity of the employees. So that's very simple. Okay, there are few models of job design, like this task characteristic model, job characteristic model, social information processing model, contingency model, and employees development model. You can get this in short notes also, very important. Task is a task characteristic is based on task, then job, regarding the job, that satisfaction level, that one. Social information is about the colleagues, the team. The contingencies, it depends on the situation. And employees development, where the employees are developed through training and education. Okay, then we have this job redesign. This is also very very important for these exams. Do revise this properly. And there are 4 techniques of job redesigning. First is by enriching the job, that means make the job interesting and more attracting for the workers. Then you can enlarge the work, the job, so that employees feel satisfied and more, they generally prefer more challenging jobs than routinious jobs. Then there should be job rotation, so that they don't get bored up by doing one job, and job re-engineering. So these 4 techniques of job redesigning is very very important. Okay, the next one, job satisfaction, and here you should read about the different determinants of job satisfaction. We know about job satisfaction, it is simple to write. And basically these 2 determinants are there. One is through organization, and the next one is individual. An organization can achieve this, can provide job satisfaction by giving good salaries and wages to the employees, by improving the nature of work, or by improving the working condition, by providing them opportunities for promotion, that is performance appraisal, by providing them a good work group, and a good leadership style, that is democratic. So through these techniques, employees can be motivated. Then we have some individual techniques, like motivation largely depends on the personality. We know about that different types of persons are there, introverts, extroverts. So motivation is different among different employees. Then age also matters, like younger employees can be motivated quickly rather than older employees. Then through education, literate people, they can be easily motivated than the uneducated ones. Then gender difference, now it is seen that the female workers are more loyal and they are good at work, so like that. Then some measurement of job satisfaction are there. These 3 scales are used. First, rating scale, personal interview, and critical incidents. So I have explained these points quite a lot of times in my previous videos also. Okay, let's move on to unit 12, group formation and structure. Again a very very important one. Now here we know about the group, and basically 2 types of group are there. One is a formal, the other is informal. And these are few factors that influence the formation of groups in the organization. First thing is economic factors, that is money. And secondly is security factors. Due to security, every employee wants safety of its job, so for that they form group. Then social factors, we can't live alone, we are human beings, we are social animals, so we need society, we need co-workers, friends, colleagues. And there are some cultural things that also influence the formation of groups. Like for example, the always one caste, say for example Brahmin, so Brahmin always that will make groups with other Brahmins, so like that. Okay. And different types of group, just now I told you about that. There are basically 2 types, formal work group and informal work group. Formal, basically they are formed by the organization to achieve a specific goal, and these groups can be command group, this can be committees, this can be team, or self-managed work team. So these formal groups can be of 4 types. Then we have some informal group, like friendship group and interest group. So these things should also be revised properly by the students. What difference between formal and informal group? Quite a lot of times this has come in the exams. Now this one is again a very important topic. Stages of formation or development of group. First, forming, where the members they make friendship with each other. Then there is a storming, there is a tussle to become a leader of the group. Then they form norms, rules to start the work. Then they concentrate on doing the work and try to complete the job. And lastly, adjourning. That means the group is dissolved and the employees go back to their respective departments. A few advantages of group decisions. Basically, like group decisions are always reliable, more accurate, and they also boost morale of the employees. And thirdly, then better decisions can be taken through these group decisions. But it also has certain limitations, like it is a very time consuming process, because single man can take decisions quickly, लेकिन अगर वो ग्रुप में अगर डिसीजन लेना होता है तो इट टेक्स टाइम. डिफरेंसेस ऑफ ओपिनियन, कुछ टसल्स हो सकते हैं, डिफरेंसेस ऑफ ओपिनियंस हो सकते हैं, सो दैट ऑल्सो हैम्पर्स द डिसीजन ऑफ द ग्रुप. ओके, लेट्स मूव ऑन टू यूनिट 13, कम्युनिकेशन. एंड जस्ट गो थ्रू दिस चैप्टर बिकॉज दिसंबर में यहाँ से बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस आए हुए थे. तो यूनिट 14 में चलते हैं. एंड यूनिट 14 में भी कन्फ्लिक्ट मैनेजमेंट, इनफैक्ट वन ऑफ द इम्पॉर्टेंट चैप्टर है ये कन्फ्लिक्ट मैनेजमेंट. लेकिन यहाँ से भी आपको दिसंबर में बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस एग्जाम्स में स्ट्राइक किए थे. एंड यहाँ से देखते हैं यूनिट 15 से कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन. यहाँ से टीम बिल्डिंग एंड लीडरशिप. यहाँ से सेम दैट प्रोसेस और स्टेज ऑफ टीम डेवलपमेंट. जस्ट नाउ आई टोल्ड यू अबाउट दिस. ये जो 5 स्टेप हैं टीम फॉर्मेशन के, फॉर्मिंग, स्टॉर्मिंग, नॉर्मिंग, परफॉर्मिंग एंड एडजर्निंग, जिसके बारे में मैंने अभी आपको एक्सप्लेन किया. तो मोर और लेस दोनों एक ही कॉन्सेप्ट हैं. ओके, देन डिफरेंट अप्रोचेस आर देयर फॉर टीम बिल्डिंग. नाउ दिस इज अगेन इम्पॉर्टेंट वन. जैसे कि यहाँ पे द जोहरी विंडो अप्रोच, द टीम रोल्स अप्रोच एंड द बिहेवियर मॉडिफिकेशन अप्रोच. And there are a lot of approaches for team building. The action research approach, the appreciate inquiry approach, projection into future approach, then reducing negative forces and monitoring. तो ये कुछ approaches हैं जो आप देख सकते हैं for this exam. And okay, आगे चलते हैं leadership के तरफ. Leadership, what is leadership and why this leadership is important? We know that a good leader is very important to make its subordinates work well and achieve the goals. तो ये initiate action, ये leader होता है जो action को initiate करता है, start करता है, motivate करता है employees को, and he act as a guide. अगर कोई employee को problem होती है तो वो guide करता है, उसको motivate करता है. Then he builds confidence among the employees. He boosts the morale of the employees. वो एक अच्छा work environment तैयार करता है for employees and एक दूसरे employees को coordinate करने में भी help करता है. तो ये main roles हैं उसके leadership के. And different types of leadership are there, जैसे कि यहाँ पे flow chart में है. The first is autocratic, जो बहुत disciplined होता है, strict होता है. डेमोक्रेटिक होता है जो थोड़ा सा एम्प्लॉइज़ को रूम देता है एंड उसकी बातें सुनता है. एंड लेसेस फेरी, एकदम खुला छूट दे देता है एम्प्लॉइज़ को, गिव फुल फ्रीडम. तो ये तीनों में से बेस्ट जो स्टाइल ऑफ लीडरशिप है एंड दैट इज़ डेमोक्रेटिक, जहाँ पे सबसे ज़्यादा लोग काम करना पसंद करते हैं. ओके, इसके एडवांटेजेस, डिसएडवांटेजेस, देन क्वालिटीज़ ऑफ ए गुड लीडर. ये बहुत सिंपल क्वेश्चन है एंड इसको आप इन योर ओन वर्ड्स यू कैन राइट द आंसर कि एक अच्छे लीडर में क्या स्पेशलिटी होती है एंड उसके कुछ मेन इंपॉर्टेंट क्वालिटीज़ यू कैन हाईलाइट. देन लीडरशिप इफ़ेक्टिवनेस के बारे में अगर बात करें तो ये एक ग्रीड है, मैनेजरियल ग्रीड, एज यू कैन सी इन दिस फ्लो चार्ट. तो यहाँ पे these 5 types of styles are there, that is 1-1 style, 9-1 style, 1-9 स्टाइल, 5-5 स्टाइल एंड 9-9 स्टाइल्स। तो ये एक टाइप ऑफ लीडरशिप प्लान है जहाँ पे 1-9 में कंट्री क्लब में जो आप देख सकते हैं जो लीडरशिप स्टाइल होती है, एंड 9-9 में यहाँ पे टीम बनती है, अच्छी टीम बनती है एंड द वर्क इज़ परफॉर्म बेटर देन इम्पोरवेरिस्ट में 1-1 एंड दिस इज़ अगेन एक अच्छी लीडरशिप के सिग्नल्स हैं एंड दिस इज़ बेस्ड ऑन टास्क विच इज़ 9-1 एंड यू कैन एक्सप्लेन दिस। ओके, देन इफेक्टिव स्टाइल्स, डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ इफेक्टिव स्टाइल्स ऑफ लीडरशिप आर देयर। ये भी आप एग्जाम्स के लिए रिवाइज कर सकते हैं। एंड हियर द फर्स्ट वन इज एग्जीक्यूटिव, देन ही इज़ अ गुड डेवलपर, देन बेनोवलेंट ऑटोक्रेट एंड इज़ अ गुड ब्यूरोक्रेट। ये कुछ स्पेशल क्वालिटीज़ हैं फॉर ए गुड इफेक्टिव लीडरशिप स्टाइल। एंड कुछ इनइफेक्टिव स्टाइल्स हैं जैसे कंप्रोमाइज़र, मिशनरी, ऑटोक्रेट एंड डिजर्टर। ओके, आगे चलते हैं नेक्स्ट यूनिट में एंड यहाँ से देखते हैं कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चंस। सोर्सेस ऑफ पावर, ये आप रिवाइज कर सकते हैं फॉर दिस एग्जाम। एंड बेसिकली जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में जो पावर का जो मेन सोर्स होता है दैट कैन बी डिवाइडेड इनटू टू टाइप्स, फॉर्मल एंड इनफॉर्मल। Now formal power is generally provided by the organization itself, and this is derived from the organizational structure and position, right? जैसे कि मैनेजर, तो मैनेजर की जो पोजीशन होती है उसके साथ में कुछ पावर्स अटैच्ड रहते हैं, तो दैट इज़ फॉर्मल पावर एंड दिस आर द डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ फॉर्मल पावर। वन इज़ लेजिटिमेट पावर, then reward power, like through rewards, by rewarding the employees they obtain power. Some coercive power are there which are directly imposed, and information power, that like some people have so much of important information that they come in power. So these are the different types of formal power. Then some informal power, if a person is very much expert, skillful, so he obtain this expert power. A referent power, like if the man has some good reference of popular personalities, so he get this power. Charismatic power is basically organization के केस में this power is absent here. Basically यहाँ पे हम लोग बात करते हैं कोई religious leader है तो he generally provides charismatic power. Okay, then this process of obtaining power. Now these are the 6 processes. First, friendliness. By being very much friendly with the other persons, the person gets power. Secondly, by spatial skills. He has good techniques, greater skills than other employees, he gets power. Then if the man has good networking with powerful people, he gets power. Fourth one, coalition. When he joins hands with other persons who are in power, so that makes him powerful. Credibility, that is by his work, by his actions he derive power, and by building pressure. So these are the 6 processes of obtaining power. Good question, important one. Okay, then the next unit, unit 17, organizational culture and climate. Now from here, this one, factors influencing organizational culture. This one is important for your forthcoming examination. Do revise this topic. Unit 18. In unit 18, change, like organizational change, and whenever an organization wants to make a change, some forces acts on it. The first one is internal forces, the second one external forces. What are those internal forces? Now this can be if there is a change in the leadership. अगर लीडर चेंज होता है, मैनेजर चेंज होता है, तो एम्प्लॉइज़ सफ़र कर सकते हैं. देन चेंज इन द एम्प्लॉइज़ प्रोफाइल, अगर चेंज होती है, उसकी डेथ हो जाती है, रिटायरमेंट हो जाता है, देन ऑल्सो अदर एम्प्लॉइज़ दे गेट डिप्रेस्ड. देन चेंज इन एम्प्लॉइज़ मोरल एंड मोटिवेशन, ये भी एक चेंज का फोर्स है. देन यूनियन, अगर ट्रेड यूनियंस हैं ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में, तो दे ऑल्सो कैन चेंज the behavior of the employees. Then implementation of new technology, नाउ दिस वन जनरली एम्प्लॉयज़ पसंद नहीं करते, क्योंकि नई टेक्नोलॉजी आती है तो हो सकता है उनकी जॉब खतरे में आ जाती है, तो दैट मेक्स हिम वरिड. Some external forces are there, due to the competition the organization brings in change, due to economic fluctuations, change in the economic policies of the government, so that may also makes the organization to change. Then some social trends, अगर society में कोई तरीके के changes होते हैं, then also the organization needs change. And global, अगर पूरे world में अगर कुछ changes हो रहे हैं, major changes, तो वो भी कंपनी को अकॉर्डिंगली ही हैज़ टू मेक चेंजेस. ओके, आगे चलते हैं. रेसिस्टेंस, ये सब क्वेश्चंस ऑलरेडी दिसंबर में आ चुके हैं, तो जस्ट गो थ्रू दिस. आई डोंट से दैट एकदम इग्नोर करना है, लेकिन जस्ट गो थ्रू दिस. ओके, आगे चलते हैं नेक्स्ट यूनिट में. एंड द नेक्स्ट यूनिट इज़ यूनिट 19, ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल डेवलपमेंट, दैट इज़ OD. इस यूनिट से आपको करना चाहिए डिफरेंट प्रोसेसेस ऑफ ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल डेवलपमेंट. एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन किस तरीके से डेवलप करती है. फर्स्टली इस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को डायग्नोसिस करना होता है, एनालाइज करना होता है. देन इट कलेक्ट्स डेटा, इंफॉर्मेशन अबाउट द डेवलपमेंट. देन उसकी प्रॉपर एनालिसिस होती है. देन प्लानिंग एंड स्ट्रैटेजीज आर मेड. देन उनकी इम्प्लीमेंटेशन होती है, एग्जीक्यूशन होता है. Then team building is there and intergroup development and evaluation. Lastly, कि जो development के जो plans organization करती है उसका net result क्या होता है. Okay, आगे चलते हैं next important questions के तरफ, and this is managing the OD process, very important one. And basically यहाँ पे the following are the tips to manage the OD process effectively. Firstly, choose the particular area where you need OD development. Then you have to focus on the link pins. That means the department having interlinks should be identified to select the people, and the confidence of these link pins will help to form a team for OD development. Then using and developing the internal resources, that is very simple. Starting at the top, then working with the supporting staff or forces. Then having multiple points of entry so that the employees should not suffer, and using proactive attitude. So these are the important steps through which process can be introduced. Unit 20 is on emerging trend in organizational behavior. यहाँ से भी बहुत सारे questions एग्जाम में आते हैं, एंड आई थिंक दिसंबर में जो एग्ज़ाम्स हुए थे इस यूनिट से बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस आए थे. तो फ्रेंड्स, ये था MCO 01 का पार्ट 3 वीडियो विच यू वेर लॉन्गिंग फॉर क्वाइट अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम. एंड डू रिवाइज दिस टॉपिक्स एंड ऑल्सो डू द सेल्फ प्रिपरेशन. Thank you very much for watching this video.